Good morning, everybody. I just started doing my makeup and I wanted to read something from my journal really quick. There's just been a lot on my mind. So I went to my friend's wedding the other day. For those of you wondering, I wore dress number 1. That was from a previous video of mine. And when I was at the wedding, I was catching up with one of my friends and they asked me how my summer was going, and I had said that I had had a feeling that it was going to be a very transformative summer. And she was like, oh my gosh, I remember you sharing that with me at the start of the summer. And I was like, well, it sure is transformative. And I was wondering if I had written that in my journal, and I went back and I found on May 3rd of this year, I wrote, I feel like this summer has the potential to be very transformative. I pray the Lord intercedes and works through me. Which, like, oh my gosh, because is that not an answered prayer or what? But it's just so interesting because I would not have thought it would be transformative in this way. But man, the Lord is working. There is so much change happening in my life and so much uncertainty as well. And I've been sitting with that because I once heard someone on Instagram, I think she was talking to like an audience of single women, and she was talking about your waiting period when you're waiting for a godly man. And although I'm not waiting for my godly man because I already got mine, I still feel like I'm almost in that similar kind of waiting period. There's just a lot of things coming downstream that I just have to kind of wait for. I'm just like waiting and trusting that everything is going to happen how it's meant to. A lot of good things, a lot of not so good things. It's just weird because it's like a lot of good and a lot of bad, but they're quite extremes. So it's just like a lot and it's tiring. But I really am trying to see this season as not just a waiting period of waiting to see what happens, because that person on Instagram that I was referencing, she had said to view your singleness as a season of preparation. And again, I'm not single, so that specific part doesn't apply to me, but just the thought of actively waiting and having like a preparatory period is really what I feel like I'm in the midst of. And let me tell you, it is so tiring. I'm so tired. I need to use my smaller mirror for this so I can get up close and personal with my eyebrows. I wish I could go into the details of everything that's been going on. And like I could, but I'm also trying to maintain privacy. I've always tried to find that balance of privacy and transparency. It's something I really, really try hard to maintain with you guys because I love having an open community just with all of you guys. And I also really, really never want to paint the picture that my life is perfect, because my life is anything but perfect. And I am far from perfect. At the same time, I want to respect the people's lives of those around me. So I can share personal things, but it's kind of hard to share those kinds of things when it also would entail sharing other people's lives when those are not my lives to share. Anyway, so back to what I was saying, being in a season of waiting / active preparation, active waiting, whatever you want to call it. That's definitely how I feel right now, because I feel like I am waiting in the sense that there's a lot that is unknown, a lot that I am just trusting in God and waiting to see how it all plays out. But in the meantime, I am trying to be actively working and growing and serving how I can. I feel like that too is a really helpful mindset shift for me, just because in seasons of waiting, when you're just going through something or you're just wanting things to get better, or when you're looking forward to something but it's not there quite yet, in those seasons I feel like it's so easy to just be sad for where you currently are. Going back to the single analogy, it's so easy to just be like, oh, I'm sad that I don't have my man. But we're preparing. You know, there's a lot on my mind. Oh, this is not the concealer I was wanting to use. Whatever. A lot going on, and I feel very grateful for where I'm at, but I'm also really, 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 really looking forward to this season to be over. It's a tough one, but what's so interesting is how kind the Lord has been to me throughout it all, because despite things feeling so chaotic all around me, I have a large sense of peace just knowing that whatever the heck is gonna be happening is gonna happen for a reason, and there's a purpose for it all. I especially just feel grateful that I myself feel grounded, like anchored down in the midst of a storm. Jesus is really holding me down, which I'm very grateful for. Because of how all over the place everything has felt, I feel like my YouTube channel has just not been what I want it to be. My focus has been on a lot of other things. It's just being split a ton right now, because on top of the stuff that I've been touching on already, I also work another job as a patient care technician on a labor and delivery unit, which I love, but it is 12-hour shifts, so you know that can be tiring. And then I am still in nursing school, but I'm on my summer break right now, which is amazing because I could not be doing that right now on top of everything. So very grateful that we're on a break. I feel like though I haven't been able to give as much time to my YouTube channel as I want, because since I'm just like bouncing all over the place, doing a whole bunch of different things this summer. I am finding myself bulk filming my content a ton, where I'll just like film 2, 3, 4, or 5 videos at once so that I can like be more efficient with the content creation, and then I'll edit it all together whenever I can and get them up each week. And it makes the content feel a little bit more forced for me. Hopefully you guys don't realize that. Hopefully it seems super natural and normal for you. But for me, it just feels like my focus is to get it done. What's a quick video that I can film, and how can I edit it quickly and get it done so that I can focus on other things? I would say I've been balancing it pretty well, but it still does kind of not sit super well with me, because I almost feel like it takes away a bit of the authenticity, in the sense that I'm uploading one video per week for 4 weeks, but then I film all 4 of those videos in like one little week or something, or less, maybe a couple days. To me, it feels like you're just getting a fraction, and then I'm living this whole other life, several other lives outside of the content that I'm creating. And then that's kind of where I struggle, I think, because even though I'm being transparent and honest in that little chunk of time when I film those videos, even right now while I'm filming, there's so much other stuff happening that I want to keep private. But then because that's just not shown at all on my channel, I don't want that to give off the wrong perception that my life is only those chunks of videos and stuff that you see. Does that make sense? It just also blows my mind how curated people can make their lives online, because I'm not even trying to curate my content to make it look some type of way, but yet it just unintentionally becomes something. And I actively try to maintain transparency and authenticity with you guys, but yet there's just no true way to fully capture that. I don't know. I really feel like I've been struggling with it. If you guys have any thoughts or anything like that, please let me know. Even like with the kinds of videos I create, I love filming vlogs and stuff, which is much easier during the school year because I'm in more of a set routine. But right now I'm not in a set routine at all, and I just can't really vlog the stuff that's happening. 1, just because that would not be fun to watch, and 2, because that would be disrespecting the privacy of others. And then when I'm like dealing with so many different things, I just am like, how do I can't vlog at all. Because I can't vlog stuff, I am just trying to make a lot of journaling focused content, because that just is easier to sit down and talk about and has nothing to do with the stuff that's going on in my life. Hey guys, I'm popping in right now because I thought of something that I wanted to add to this part of the conversation. But I feel like also with how oversaturated content creation feels right now, I almost reflect back on the content that I'm putting out and wonder how much value I'm contributing to that oversaturation, or if I'm contributing to the oversaturation. I want to make sure that the content that I'm bringing is enjoyable, informative, entertaining, something that people genuinely find value out of and look forward to. Because at least when I am watching videos and scrolling and those kinds of things, oftentimes I think about how much value I'm actually getting from it, if it's actually worthwhile, or if it's just something that I'm busying my time with. And so because I'm conscious of that, I feel like I'm extra conscious of the content that I'm adding to that for other people. I don't want to just be making content just for the sake of making content for the sake of putting something out. And with the flow of how I'm creating content, it almost makes it feel more so like that for me, because it feels like I'm just trying to get that content done. But I also want to make sure that it's still valuable to you guys. And so finding that balance has been kind of difficult for me during this season. So I'd love to just know your thoughts on that. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, or maybe you genuinely can notice that as well in my content, and please tell me if you do. Or if there's any kinds of videos or specific kinds of content that you like specifically that you think would add more to your life and benefit you and help you in a productivity sense, or just brightening your spirits and your mood. Just let me know, because I myself am struggling a bit with making sure I maintain that with you guys in my content, and just overall feeling really good about what I put out. Anyway, back to the video. Let's have a little sip of coffee. Something I am so grateful for though is how much goodness has been sprinkled in my life. Because like I mentioned, I'm excited for this season to be over, whenever it does end. But I know that it has an ending, and at the end of it, I know there are so many beautiful things that the Lord has in store for me that I'm able to tangibly see working and establishing itself, which is just such an immense blessing. It's really getting me through to have stuff to really look forward to, you guys. Anyway, about an hour ago, I put up a little Q&A box on my story just because I was like, you know what, I'm filming a little chit chat, get ready with me. Let me know if you have any questions, just so that I'm not rambling this entire video about stuff that I'm like sharing but not fully sharing. Also, my skin is looking really glowy. I'm digging it. Oh, also as a side note, I'm planning on filming 2 other videos today, which is why I'm getting ready. I think just like because of that, it makes it feel more of like a check off the box kind of thing and get it done rather than something that I really spend time with thinking about and creating, because I have a lot of ideas for videos I want to do, but they all just take a really long time. And right now I just, with the way that my schedule is, I can't film a video that takes a long time to film. So like for example, I really want to film a video that is like a challenge where I wake up at 5 a.m. every day and journal first thing in the morning at 5 a.m. for a whole week. I think that would be such a fun video to do, but I'm not at my apartment for a full week, and even when I am having to film a whole bunch of videos and then also working at the hospital and just like a lot of things. So it's like not the easiest video to film, but anyway, I digress. Let me change my camera battery real quick and then I'll get into some questions. Hello, I'm back. Also, I'm wearing a skirt. You can't really see it. I've worn this outfit before in another video. I just dropped my hair. Oops. Ooh, thankfully she's okay and not cracked. Anyway, I've worn this outfit in another video and I just love it. It makes me feel so feminine and beautiful. Let's do some blush. Let me know if you would want more of like a makeup routine where I actually explain what I'm doing instead of just talking and doing it. But I do like the cream products first and then I put powder products of the same thing on top of it. So I did like a cream blush and a cream bronzer, and then I put the powdered blush and bronzer over top of it because I feel like it just like sets it in place more. I don't really know if that's how it works, but that's what I tell myself. What has it been like to see the growth from when you first started journaling to now? Woo! That's a really good question. My journaling has changed so much from when I first started journaling because I was 6 years old when I started and now I'm 22, and a lot's changed in my life in the way that I write and how I write and all of those things. To see that growth and transformation has been wow. Even just talking about the transformation that I'm in right now in this transformative summer that I'm having that documented is really, really cool. I also mentioned in a previous video of mine that I've been struggling with my journaling. Let me keep doing my makeup, by the way. I've been struggling with my journaling just because like with everything that's been happening, it's like hard to write about it because of the time that I have, and the stuff that's happening is just hard to write about. But even the stuff that I have documented is quite wonderful to see written down on paper, and that's just in a short time period. So to see the transformation of my whole life, or like almost my whole life, on paper is just an invaluable thing to have. Can you talk about self-growth? I feel like in some ways we've already been doing that this whole video. What year do you graduate UVA? Guys, if you've followed my channel for a while, you know that this is a little bit of a touchy subject. It's not actually. I'm very eager to graduate. So I don't know if I've ever fully told this story on my channel, but so I am originally a class of 2024 at UVA. I transferred into nursing though. I was originally a biology major in the College of Arts and Sciences at UVA, and then I was like, you know what? I want to do nursing. I originally applied to a 2-year program so that I could graduate on time in 2024, this past May, but the School of Nursing actually put me into a 3-year program because they were like, your entrepreneurship, aka my YouTube channel, they were like, that takes up a lot of time and we think you would be a better fit for the 3-year program because you just got a lot on your plate. You got a lot going on and you're a busy gal. And I was like, that stinks, because I really wanted to graduate on time and because I had told them that I was not going to be applying to the 3-year program if I didn't get into the 2-year program. I also had told them in my interview that I always put academics first, that I have taken breaks from my entrepreneurship and everything for the sake of school, and that I was prepared to give it up if I needed to for school. And then they went ahead and applied me to the 3-year program. Like without even asking me, they just were like, oh, by the way, we think you'd be a good fit for the 3-year program, so we applied you for it, and then accepted me into it. And I was just like, wait, what? So because of that, I'm graduating a year late. I didn't really get a choice in that. But that's how I started out in the School of Nursing. I was not happy about it at first. Like, I was so happy, of course, to be in nursing because that's what I wanted to do, but I was not happy about the fact that I was in the 3-year program because I wanted to be in the 2-year program. And I was like, we already addressed this stuff. I was always gonna put my academics first. Also, like, I can handle it. I'm always busy. Woo! So I was a little bit upset that they were like determining what I could handle. And going back to just what we've been talking about with transitioning and active waiting periods, a large reason that there's an active waiting period is because I haven't graduated yet because I still have one more year. There would still be other stuff that I would be experiencing right now regardless of if I was graduated or not, but it does throw a whole other factor into things. But so I'm graduating in May of this upcoming year. It's my 5th year at UVA. I'm very excited to be graduated, to be done, to be a nurse. This is also a perfect segue for another question that I got, which was, do you plan on staying in Virginia after graduating? Which I answered in another video recently, I forget which one, but no, I do not. Which is really crazy to think about because I moved around as a kid all the time, but I've lived in Virginia for like 10 years, which is crazy. I mean, half of it's been in college and half of it's been at home when I was like in high school and stuff, but I haven't moved in a long time, like moved out of the state, and that's what I'm gonna be doing, and I'm excited. I'm very excited, but it's also like, whoa, haven't done that in a while. That's pretty crazy. I've also gotten quite a few questions about how I do my mascara. I sometimes do it differently, but for the most part, I do it like this. I use the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Mascara. It looks like this. And I use that as a base, well, like 1 or 2 coats first. And then after, I take the Maybelline Sky High Mascara and I'll put that on afterwards as like a 2nd or 3rd coat, depending on how many coats I do of this one. Sometimes I layer on some other random mascaras, but usually it's those 2. I also have like all my makeup and stuff linked on my Amazon storefront if you're interested. Some of your followers are well into our 30s. How do you see yourself when you're our age? Oh, I love that question. Also, that's another thing. The journaling army has quite the range of ages, which I love. I love that people of all different walks of life are here in this community. I think that's so wonderful because then the comments are full of people of all different ages that can share wisdom and we can just all hang out and talk to each other, and I just think that's great. When I am 30, so I'm 22 right now, turning 23 in March of next year. When I'm in my 30s, definitely want to have kids by then. That's in 8 years. Yeah, I could definitely have a kid or 2 or 3 maybe if the Lord blesses me in that way. By 30? I don't know. It kind of all just depends though on a lot of things. I would love to be a stay-at-home mom, again, if the Lord wills that. I want to work as a nurse for a while and then transition to being a stay-at-home mom, maybe doing like part-time nursing or something, getting back into nursing at some point as my kids grow older. I don't know. It's all very up in the air, taking it year by year. I don't want to set too many crazy plans or anything, or get my heart set on anything, just because oftentimes when you make a plan, God is like, actually, this was the plan that I had. And then you're like, oh, well, never mind. You know? So, trying to just leave it up to God and see what happens and chase after what He has set out for me. I would love to still be doing stuff with my business. I'll definitely still be journaling in some way, shape, or form. The thought of daily journaling into my 30s is crazy just because I'm like, that's wow. I can't imagine myself stopping daily journaling at this point in my life, but also I'm like, daily journaling for the rest of my life? That's a lot of journaling and a lot of journals that I'll have. Oh, also with my mascara, I usually only do the top lashes nowadays. Sometimes I'll do the bottoms though. The reason I stopped doing that wasn't because of the way that it looks, because I know a lot of people like how it looks where you only do mascara on the top, but personally, I found that if I didn't do it on the bottom, then I would stop getting raccoon eyes where it would smear and smudge all over on the bottom. Even when I used waterproof mascara on my bottom lashes, it would still kind of do that. So I love the way that it looks to have bottom mascara, but I don't like how it looks at the end of the day, if you know what I mean. I think though that my content will just continue to grow with me as I age, while maintaining privacy but also transparency with you guys, and also whatever you guys like as well. It'll probably just be kind of a balance of what I enjoy creating, what you guys seem to like and want, and just, you know, working our way together that way. How has your journaling changed since starting your relationship with God? I love that question. A huge thing that's changed since strengthening my faith and just getting to know God more is that I pray in my journal. I love writing down prayers so much. I have a prayer journal, which honestly, I haven't used it in a while just because I so often will just write my prayers in my daily journal, and so it's just like repetitive to write it again. But I love writing down prayers and getting to know God in that way. I feel like it's a really nice way to slow down when you're talking with God, and for me it helps me stay focused as I pray, because I have this really bad habit where when I'm praying alone, I will start praying whether I'm driving in the car or in the shower or just like getting ready for bed or just anything, where I'll be praying. If I'm driving, of course I don't have my eyes closed, and then I get distracted distracted. My mind jumps to something else and I start thinking about something, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I was praying and I totally just lost track of that. And then I'm like, oh, sorry, Lord. But when I'm journaling my prayers, it's so much easier for me to stay focused and really slow down and have that intimate one-on-one with God. My journaling has really helped me with that. I always get the question, when will you film Reading My Diary Part 6? It's coming, you guys. Next month. Next month is my 5 years on YouTube, which is crazy. What the heck? 5 years, I feel really old. But so I was gonna film Part 6 for my 5 years on YouTube, and just because it's long overdue. I had said that I was gonna do the next part, I think I had said this, that I was gonna do the next part at 100K, but honestly my growth on YouTube has slowed down quite a bit. I think just because journaling was huge during COVID, and then now it's not as huge, which is fine. I don't really care about the number of subscribers that I have, but originally that's like when I had said I would make the next part, and since that's not happening anytime soon, I mean, maybe it is, that would be cool, but since it doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon, I didn't want to keep you guys waiting forever, so I was like, oh, I'll just do it on my 5 years of being on YouTube. Also, if you guys want another video where I read your journal entries, let me know. And if you have any super crazy, funny, hilarious, interesting, cringy journal entries from your childhood, feel free to send them my way. Do you cringe if you watch your old videos? Yes, I do. How do you manage to find time in your busy schedule to journal? You just gotta make the time, even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's just staying up a little later or waking up a little bit earlier. Usually for me, it's staying up a little bit later. Now I need to go do my hair maybe, change into another outfit, and film a different video. So many people are asking for a boyfriend reveal. Someone also asked, when will you show us your Pookie? I think that's so funny. Someone referred to him as my Pookie in the last Q&A I did. I think it's the last one. I just think the name Pookie is really funny. I don't call him Pookie though. I call him Honey actually, which I think is really sweet. He's already been on my channel a little bit. It hasn't been his face or his name or anything, but like you've seen little parts of him in different vlogs, especially this vlog right here. He'll definitely be in future videos. I just don't know exactly to what extent. Him and I have talked about that, but we haven't really come up with a set conclusion. It's kind of a play it by ear thing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. I am so blessed to have this platform and just have this community with you guys. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.